Got to talk about Shedeur Sanders. Deion Sanders was on a podcast recently and accidentally let it out that the Eagles wanted to draft Shedeur Sanders, and he also turned them down, much like he did the Ravens, due to not wanting to be a backup to a franchise quarterback. How we feeling about this, fellas?
I said it before. I hate this. I hate it. And again, if it's the backup in me speaking, that's fine. I'm not egotistical enough to say, oh, I should have been. No. And maybe it's the backup in me speaking. Maybe that's what it is. I hate this. Here's why. Last time I did all this yelling and all this stuff about where was Tom Brady drafted? Where was this person? I'm not going to do that this time. Let's talk about the Eagles, Care Bear. Where was Jalen Hurts drafted?
Second round.
Second round to the Eagles, behind Carson Wentz, who was the highest paid quarterback in the NFL at the time, $135 million. Carson Wentz had just helped the Eagles get a 1 seed, 13-3. They went on to win the Super Bowl. Nick Foles led them there. Eagles kicked Nick Foles out the door. He got $88 million by the Jags for Carson Wentz. So surely Carson Wentz was going to be the starter in Philadelphia for the next 10 years. Number 2 overall pick, had led his team to a number 1 seed. They went on to win the Super Bowl. The Eagles got rid of their Super Bowl MVP, of whom a statue is built outside of the stadium, Lincoln Financial Field, for Carson Wentz. So surely Wentz is going to be the starter. And within a year and 4 games, Jalen Hurts is the starter. And Jalen Hurts has now gone on to 2 Super Bowls, a Super Bowl MVP, an All-Pro, and he looks like he's going to be the Eagles starter for the next 10 years. So the reason I hate this is because you just never know where your NFL life is going to take you. Ask Jalen Hurts. You think if Jalen Hurts' agent, Nicole Lynn, we all know her, Nicole Lynn at Clutch, shout out to her. She does a phenomenal job. You think if it was up to Jalen Hurts' agent, she would have had Jalen Hurts going to the Philadelphia Eagles behind Carson Wentz? Hell no. That's the same draft class with Joe Burrow. He was going to the Bengals to start right away. Tua Tagovailoa, he was going to go start over Ryan Fitzpatrick right away. Justin Herbert, he was going to go back up Tyrod Taylor, thus start right away. Jordan Love, he was behind Aaron Rodgers, so we knew that wasn't going to be any good. But meanwhile, you draft Jalen Hurts, and he's drafted behind, I think, a 26, 27-year-old Carson Wentz. And now look at him, bro.
I totally disagree with you. First of all, he's supposed to go with round, or not, with pick, Shedeur, like top 10, top 15.
Yeah.
The whole time we was talking about that. Okay, so it didn't happen like that. But in his mindset, he had like the power where he could kind of create his own narrative where he wants to go. If me and you could have did that and say, hey, LaShawn, Acho, you can play for any team you really want to. Or you can tell teams, I don't want to play for you, I want to play for y'all. Players can't do that, but Shedeur could. And if you think about this, I don't think Jalen Hurts would have said, yo, I don't want to play for them. Why not?
Because Carson.
Yeah, but
Remember who Carson was, Shady.
But Jalen Hurts wasn't Shedeur Sanders in college. I feel like with all the attention,
all the hype,
all the hype,
no.
Yeah, so he came in and was like, I'm the guy. I just feel like him trying to go to a team where he can play now instead of playing behind Jalen Hurts, who's winning Super Bowls, or Lamar Jackson, who's freaking MVP after MVP. I'm gonna go to a team where I can start today, or at least I can compete to start.
But here's my thing, bro. Because here's where I feel like we're living in like a duality of worlds. Shedeur, if you that confident and you got that much dog in you, go beat out Jalen Hurts. Oh, which one is it? Obviously, you're not going to beat out Jalen Hurts, more obvious than not. But again, I know the Eagles well. Shady knows them better. Carson Wentz was not getting beat out by Jalen Hurts. If you would have asked me before the 2020 season if Carson Wentz was going to get beat out by Jalen Hurts, we all would have called you a liar.
Hold up.
Everybody.
Right,
everybody. But by week 14, Shady, Jalen Hurts makes his first start against the Saints.
But why did he start, though? Because
Carson was bad.
Bad. When Carson was 100% healthy, I don't care how good Jalen Hurts was. If Carson Wentz was healthy and he was playing how he was playing, we would never known how great Jalen Hurts was. You get what I'm saying? So he got injured, so things changed. But if he didn't get injured, we wouldn't know who Jalen Hurts was.
But my thought,
so I say all that to say,
talk to me.
Where now I go to a team where if no injuries or injuries don't matter, I'm gonna get a chance to play. There's some guys that gotta get injured or not be good for me to play. But if you go to the Browns, I'm in a room full of backups.
Yeah. But then, Kieran, can everybody return their anger? Can we return our outrage and go get our emotions back? Because all the outrage we gave to the Sanders family, ain't nobody drafted Shedeur. Man, what the hell? Wait a second. The Eagles wanted to. The Ravens wanted to. And these are just two teams that have leaked in the last 2 weeks. Now, we know Howie Roseman. Shady, again, knows him better than I am. Never going to act like I know him better, but I got Howie Roseman's number 2. I don't think this is a lie. And Deion Sanders said it.
Yeah, he said it.
He said it. Yeah. So if Deion said that the Eagles one was true, we can probably assume the Ravens one was true. So how many other teams tried to draft Shedeur and Shedeur said no? There are only about 4 to 6 teams that Shedeur could have gone to and been a day one starter, and the Browns weren't even one of them. So that's why I'm just like, come on, bro. Beggars can't be choosers. And not that Shedeur Sanders is a beggar by any stretch of the imagination, but the NFL is a billion-dollar business. It is a privilege to be a part of the billion-dollar business. Shedeur can ask his older brother Shiloh.
I heard your argument more with Jalen Hurts now. Like I hear it more with Jalen Hurts than I do with Lamar Jackson. Like I said, Lamar Jackson would have to lose limbs to come off of the field for the Baltimore Ravens. I'm sorry, it wouldn't be fair. With the Jalen Hurts situation, with as good of an organization as Howie Roseman has built around the quarterback position there, I think it's a crazy choice. I think it is a crazy choice to turn that down. But I still think this season, next season, the season after that, he has way more of a chance of actually getting on the field and being the franchise guy by earning it in Cleveland than he does in Philadelphia or in Baltimore. Yeah. He doesn't have a chance to go earn that there.
No chance.
You don't.
Y'all are trying to like. I feel like y'all are trying to be like the football god. You know what I mean? Like you know, in this day and age, 2.5, I think this is true. Like you can pick your kid's eye color and you can pick your kid's gender and like you can pick everything you want scientifically for your kid. Now, in this day and age, I believe you can.
Yeah, you can.
This is like we're trying to be football gods here. Hey, Shedeur, I want you to make sure you go to this exact right team at this exact right time slot. You can't be a football god. Your life is your life and your NFL career is your NFL career. Nick Foles is a Super Bowl MVP. He was a 3rd-round pick that was a Philadelphia Eagles starting quarterback. His jersey went to the Pro Football Hall of Fame because with LaShawn McCoy against the Oakland Raiders in 2014, he had 7 touchdown passes. Chip Kelly comes to the Philadelphia Eagles. Nick Foles ends up going to the Rams. He contemplates retirement in 2015. 2016, he winds up back with the Eagles. 2017, Carson Wentz gets hurt. He goes to the Super Bowl. He's a Super Bowl MVP. You never know how your career gonna go, bro. You might be Shady McCoy, 2nd-round pick, beat out Brian Westbrook, or maybe Westbrook retires or whatever.
He left.
He leaves, right? Westbrook ends up leaving, and you might go on and have a future Hall of Fame career. Or you might end up backing up Mike Vick in Philly, starting, having a Hall of Fame season, 27 touchdowns, 2 picks. A new coach comes in, trades you to the Rams. You think about retiring. You come back to Philly under Doug Peterson, and now you have a statue outside of a stadium. Shedeur, I don't know how it's going to go. I just don't believe you can be a football god.
I agree, but this is what the Sanders family sees it as. If this is another quarterback coming out randomly with a lot of college football, or a lot of expectations after playing well in college, sure. But the Sanders family doesn't want him to be a Nick Foles playing in a backup role and then getting in and winning a Super Bowl. They want Shedeur to be the franchise guy. They believe that Shedeur has franchise quarterback capability, and so did everyone else apparently before draft night because he was rejected top 10. That's
right.
In my honest opinion, I think it's crazy. Like, it's hard, in my opinion, in your mind, to switch that standard, to flip that switch on the 2 days afterwards.
Yeah.
It's hard.
But hold on. Let's do this then. Let's do this for real. Y'all here, let's do this for real. How many quarterbacks then is Shedeur, now that we've seen 3 games of the NFL season, how many quarterbacks is Shedeur starting over? Healthy. He's not starting over Jordan Love. So if the Packers would have called, you got to say no.
No.
He's not starting over Caleb Williams. So if the Bears call, you got to.
He'd say yes to the Bears.
You can't.
He's not proven yet.
He's a number 1 overall pick.
The 2 quarterbacks that he didn't want to sit behind were a Super Bowl MVP and a league MVP.
Caleb Williams was the number 1. What I'm trying to suggest is this. There's a reason to run from anything. You can look at the Bears and say, Caleb is 23, one of the most highly touted players. They've drafted him. I'm not starting over Caleb Williams. You're not starting over J.J. McCarthy. And you're not starting over Jared Goff. So that division, that's a bust. Let's go to the NFC East, West, wherever the Cowboys are at. You're not starting over Dak East. You're not starting over Dak Prescott. You're not starting over Jalen Hurts.
I think
you could have started with the Giants, obviously, whatever they got going on. And you're not starting over Jaden Daniels. Let's go to the NFC West. You're not starting over Matthew Stafford. You're not starting over Brock Purdy, who they just paid. They just traded for Sam Darnold. And maybe you could back up Kyler Murray. Maybe that could be tantalizing to you.
Yeah, right.
That's the one. Like, what I'm trying to tell y'all is there's not that many places. There's just not that. You're not starting.
But the 3 places that they wanted him, they talked about was we obviously knew we wanted Tennessee, but who was that? The
Saints.
Browns, the Saints,
Yeah.
and I'm missing one more.
Giants.
And the Giants.
And Giants was one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to play for them 3 teams where I can go compete for a job.
Yeah. To me, though, it's not even about what it was this season. It's more about the path to being the franchise guy. I think that's where they're seeing it. Because even if you talk about Dak may or may not be there after this contract is up in 2 years. If you told Shedeur, look, sit behind Dak for 2 seasons, we're gonna make you the guy moving forward. I think he'd take that.
Bro, I think
he would.
I guess you just don't. You just never know. It's hard for me to,
I agree, though. You
just
do never know. You do
Have
never
you ever
know.
played with players that was really, really good, but they didn't really play or they didn't make teams? Like,
Of course.
but that's situational. I remember my first real situation where I learned that is Danny Amendola.
Amendola.
Right? Amendola, right? Hell of a player. Well, I don't want to get too deep, but when we got there, I was a rookie. Macklin was a rookie. He was
in Philly.
He was in Philly first. And I'm like, damn, who this white dude killing everybody? Hitting them in routes. And he was younger back then, so he was a lot quicker. He was killing everybody. He looked like, to me, it was Deshaun Jackson was killing, and he was killing. I was like, yo, who is this guy, right? I wasn't even doing that well either. Anyway, we get to, like, the end of training camp, and I'm like, damn, where do little white do that? Because Danny was cool, but we wasn't, like, best friends, but we are good friends. But I'm like, yo, where he at? You know what I mean? They cut him. I'm like, they cut him? How? He's like our best wide receiver other than Deshaun. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if he had a chance to pick where he wanted to go, where we just had Deshaun Jackson, we just had Jeremy Mack, number 1 or like 3rd or 4th draft pick in that class, we just paid Jason Avant. I can't be here.
Yeah.
But bruh should have been there.
Yeah.
Danny's my boy. And Danny was nice.
Yeah.
I remember the first time, like, yo, who this little white guy? He was killing them.
And he went on like Shady said.
And you see how his career went? Because he was a good player.
I mean, we saw that this past offseason with Hunter Renfrow in Carolina. They ended up cutting him in favor of a rookie because they liked the upside instead of him who was killing everybody in
It
training
happens
camp.
all the time.
Yeah, it does.
Care
It
Bear,
does.
what
I was gonna say, yeah, we got a super chat. We
got
got a quick
super
little super chat.
chat.
Quick little super chat.
Super
John
chat
Salmon,
matters.
who chatted us earlier, said he wants to know: do we think Shedeur is or will start regretting his decision during the draft? Quick yes or no. What y'all think?
Yes.
Shady?
No. He don't get a shot.
I think yes, just because he's in Cleveland. No one wants to be in Cleveland.
But these
I'm gonna be honest. You got drafted in Cleveland.
Care Bear,
I'm
what else
sorry.